Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the story of one of the most iconic, raw, and thrilling machines ever created, the Shelby Cobra 427. This car wasn't just a vehicle. It was a revolution on wheels, a machine that combined brute American muscle with British elegance and forever changed the way we see sports cars. The roots of the Cobra story begin in the early 1960s with Carroll Shelby, a former racing driver from Texas who had a dream. After health issues forced him to retire from professional racing, Shelby turned his focus to building the ultimate sports car. He wanted to take the lightweight chassis of a European roadster and pair it with the raw power of an American V8. This dream would eventually give birth to the Cobra. The first versions of the Cobra used a small Ford V8, and they were already making waves on the racing scene. But Carroll Shelby was never satisfied with good enough. He always wanted more. By 1965, Shelby and his team decided to push things to the absolute limit. They dropped Ford's massive 427 cubic inch big block V8 under the hood, a thunderous engine producing around 425 horsepower in road trim and much more in racing spec. That's when the legend of the Shelby Cobra 427 was truly born. The design of the Cobra 427 wasn't just about fitting a bigger engine. The chassis had to be completely re-engineered to handle the enormous power. Wider fenders, bigger tires, and a more aggressive stance gave the 427 an intimidating look. It wasn't a car you just drove casually, it was a machine that demanded respect every time you sat behind the wheel. On the track, the Cobra 427 was a monster. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 4 seconds, numbers that were unheard of in the mid-1960s. Its top speed pushed past 160 miles per hour, and in the hands of skilled drivers, it left many European rivals stunned. Ferrari, Aston Martin, Jaguar, they all felt the bite of the Cobra. But beyond the numbers, the Cobra 427 had a soul. When you turned the key and the big block roared to life, you didn't just hear an engine, you felt a storm of thunder shaking the ground. Driving one wasn't just about speed, it was about survival, taming a beast that wanted to break free at every corner. That's why so many people say the Cobra 427 wasn't just a car, it was an experience. Collectors and enthusiasts soon realized just how special this car was. With only a limited number of authentic 427 Cobras built in the 1960s, their value skyrocketed. Today, an original Shelby Cobra 427 can sell for millions at auctions, making it one of the most sought-after classics in automotive history. Of course, replicas and continuation models exist, and they give more people a chance to experience the thrill of the Cobra without the multi-million-dollar price tag. But even then, nothing compares to the authenticity of an original, the car that Carroll Shelby himself envisioned and brought to life. The Shelby Cobra 427 also played a huge role in cementing Shelby's partnership with Ford. It paved the way for legendary cars like the Shelby GT 350 and GT 500 Mustangs, and it showed the world that American muscle could stand toe-to-toe with the best that Europe had to offer. Even today, more than half a century later, the Cobra 427 remains a symbol of raw power, rebellion, and pure driving passion. It's the kind of car that doesn't just sit in a garage. It tells a story, it carries history in its curves, and it reminds us of an era when limits were meant to be broken. And that, my friends, is the story of the Shelby Cobra 427, a car that started as a dream and became one of the most iconic machines in automotive history. If you enjoyed this journey through automotive legend, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. If you had the chance, would you dare to drive a Cobra 427 at full throttle? I'd love to hear your thoughts.